Okay, people. So, yes, there was an Invicta card on Wednesday. So, what I mean, I found out a little bit late. Watched it Friday, and boy, it was fun. So we had TJ DeSantis and Julie Kedzie calling it from the Fight Church in Kansas City. And yeah, we had a 6-fight main card. It started off with Maria Favela against Sarah Klechka. And it's a bantamweight fight. It was interesting because I think in the first round, Klechka, she was throwing leg kicks and the jab, but it was seemed a little lackadaisical, right? She was very upright and she wasn't setting up the kicks. So she was getting countered by Favela, who was showing some very good footwork. She was hitting the leg, going after the calf and really landing a nice right all the time. So she won that first round. Now, Klitschko went to the corner, and the corner was just like, yo, fix up. You know what I mean? And that's what she did, right? So, second round on, she wasn't as upright. She was being more forceful with the jab, not just throwing an arm out there. She was really following through with the jab, sitting down on her shots more, better movement, and throwing her own kicks. And because of that, she was stopping Favela from doing what she could do. And yeah, Klechka, she really, just turned it on and got a nice victory. But she was just able to shut down Favela. And yeah, Favela was still trying. You know what I mean? She was still trying. She still landed some big shots, but she wasn't able to do it with the frequency that she did in the first. And yeah, it ended up with Klechka doing more, right? Having the bigger output. So it went to a split decision, but yeah, Klechka won the last 2 rounds. I don't know why it was a split, because Favela won the first round clearly. Klechka took the next two. It's a bit simple, but hey ho, these things happen. So we then had our first of the 2 atomweight fights on the card. We had Tamika Jones step in on short notice to fight Katie Saul. And Saul, she'd lost her previous Invicta outings. So lost those 2 fights, both split decisions. But you could see that she really was looking to make a change this time out. And, I think the big difference from the giddy up that you saw, Saul was very composed, had a solid guard. All the fundamentals were there. Tamika, I feel that, this was her Invicta debut. And I think that got to her a little bit. She was, just a little bit amped, a bit too amped. So she's just swinging. She wasn't really, sitting down on things, setting things up. So, but she was landing some shots. She was definitely game. Saldo came in, took her down, gets mount, drops some elbows, right? Dropped some elbows, and then took the back, looking for that rear naked choke. And Jones did a very good job of fighting that off, and she was then able to twist and get on top. So she's on top, but sort of, still very composed, right? Did the right thing, had her feet on Jones's hips, keeping her off balance, very active guard, and boom, throws up an armbar, grabs it. 30 seconds to go. She's got the arm, right? She's extended it. Jones gritting in there, staying the course. And the reason was, I feel it was, Saul's legs, they weren't both fully over, what I mean, the shoulder area. So the torque wasn't quite there. But Saul adjusted her grip, got the arm underneath, the armpit, moved the legs, and boom. That's all she wrote, baby. You know what I mean? Jones had to tap. But hey, Jones took this fight on short notice, right? That was only her second pro fight. So, what I mean, props to her. But yeah, very good win for Katie Saul. So we then go to the flyweight. Flyweight? 125. Yeah, that's fly. Yeah. I always get fly and feather mixed up. I don't know why. You know what I mean? It's just like, I've been watching fights for so long. I still can't get that right. I'm an ass, man. But yeah, flyweight fight. Elsa Pone making her second Invicta start against Helen Peretta. And whew, I mean, this was crazy. Pone was confident. You know what I mean? And she didn't have a bad fight the first time out. But Peretta just came out. And I think from the giddy up, Peretta hit a big 1-2, which knocked Pone back. And you know what I mean? Like, Pone went up against the fence. Like, she wasn't hurt, but it was the power, right? There was a clear power differential here. And Peretta is a nasty bitch. She stalked Pone, man. She stalked her. It was, man, it was like a fucking raptor in Jurassic Park. You know what I mean? And she just landed big shots. Man, she got Pone down and she just controlled the fight. Just controlled it. Got her down, hit a lot of ground and pound, elbows. It was nasty. Hey, but props to Pone, because Pone, hey, when she could, she got off shots. She got off some kicks, but it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough because Peretta was just vicious, like there was I think there was occasions when maybe Peretta could have ended the fight if she had really poured it on, but it wasn't like she wasn't looking to end the fight, but she wasn't looking to rush and put herself in silly situations. So yeah, she was methodical here, people, and got a clear and concise victory. So our next fight, it was bantamweight. We had Monica Franco against Haley Cowan, who was making her Invicta debut. And just from the giddy up, man, Cowan just pressured Franco, got her up against the fence, some dirty boxing on the fence, you know what I mean? Just looking to get her down, just ground her out. In the second round, Cowan gets Franco down again, and boom, she gets the back, looking for that rear naked, the arms underneath the chin, and it's a wrap. Now, here's the crazy thing. The ref didn't see it, right? The ref didn't see it, didn't see the tap, because you know what I mean? As they were turning, right? So the tap side was down by the mat and Franco tapped. But hey, she then, you know what I mean? She gave it up, right? She stopped what she was doing, and that was it. Some fighters, as we know, the ref doesn't see it, they might act like they didn't tap. So, hey, mad props to Franco for the honesty right there. But yeah, very good debut for Haley Cowan. And if she's able to, you know what I mean, just whew, work that wrestling, she's gonna be a problem, man. She's gonna be a problem. So the co-main event, I think it was a short notice affair. So this was catch weight at 150 pounds. Well, two newcomers to Invicta had Shamar Pesara against Romana Pascal. And hot damn, right? No feeling out. Both of these ladies were throwing, man. Both throwing, both landed some decent shots, right? But Pascal hit a knee to the kidneys of Prashkwara. And oh, man, now look, we have seen that kidney shot countless times, how it can just shut you down and it instantly can end fight. So props to Pasquara, right? She was hurt, clearly hurt, right? She staggered back to the fence. Pascal just, I don't know if she realized it was to the kidney, but she jumped on Pasquale, didn't give her a minute's rest, followed up with more knees to the midsection, to the head. And I feel the last knee hit the kidneys again, and Pascara dropped. The referee jumped in. This was quick. I feel a minute. We were a minute into the fucking fight, people, and that was done. A great debut for Pasquale, man. It really was. So, main event, right? Main event, the Atomweights, the rematch. Alesha Zappitella, the current Invicta champion, taking on Jessica Delboni again. Now, these girls fought in May 2021, right? Went to a split decision. Zappitella won, right? Now, at the time, and hey, I said it on the breakdown, people. I felt Delboni had won that fight. It was super close, right? So it, you know, to say it's a robbery, you can't really say that. It was super close. But yeah, I thought Delboni won. And she was so pissed. Delboni was pissed, right? So in June, there was a Phoenix tournament to see who would get the next shot at Zappitella. The next month, Delboni entered. Delboni entered and won. That's 3 fights in one night. Now, yes, you know, the whole tournament thing has changed slightly, you know what I mean? Because you can't fight three-round fights. So the first 2 fights are 1 round, and then the main event is 3. You know what I mean? But 3 fights, that's 3 fucking fights, and she did it. So won the Phoenix and got that title shot. So we finally get to see that rematch, man. Finally get to see that rematch. Now, what I thought was interesting, right? So what we heard on the broadcast was Zappitella had said this was going to be her last atomweight fight, right? She'd be moving up to strawweight after this, which kind of interesting because, you know, half pint, yeah, you understand, she's short. She's short. So, yeah, I'm like, yo, to go up to strawweight, whew, that could be problematic. Not because Zappitella isn't skilled, but reach deficit, height deficit. You know what I mean? There's a lot of work you gotta do. And we've seen many people try, but it's difficult to close that gap against, people that can, fight at range, right? So she's saying all of this, and you think to yourself, is Zappitella looking past Delboni? Because they both felt they won that first fight, right? There was clear animosity between the two. So yeah, but in that first fight, remember Zappitella couldn't take Delboni down. So straight out the gate, they did touch, they did touch fists, which I wasn't sure if they were gonna do. Right now, Delboni landed a stiff jab out the gate, but Zappitella, boom, changed levels, got the takedown. I got the takedown early. Delboni, though, was able to get up, but it was that thing of saying, hey, you said I'd never be able to take you down. Just did, bitch. What? You know what I mean? So it was definitely that fit you could see. There was some posturing going on. People trying to show, hey, I won the last fight. I'm gonna fuck you up now, man. That's it. That's what it be. And yeah, Delboni, man, it's the power, right? It's maybe not straight knockout power, but boy, she packs a punch. And, she was landing very well, and then stuffing the other takedown attempts. Zappitelli did get her down again, but, Delboni was able to get back up. She didn't really spend too much time on her back. So I think the big change in here was in the second round, Zappitella, went for a takedown, probably about midway through. Delboni stuffed it and then landed some fucking nasty elbows. Nasty, and a few, not just one, not two. She landed a few. And when, Zappitella got up, you could see that she wasn't out, but she was definitely a little shook, right? She was a little stunned from those elbows. But props to Zappitella. She, she didn't take steps back. She continued to come forward. Problem is, her takedown offenses were getting stuffed. She was getting stuffed, and Delboni was then punishing her. Right. And when she got through, right, she got through onto a leg, Delboni, continued to drop those elbows, right? And tie Zappitella up so she couldn't advance her position. So it was getting a little problematic because in the fourth, yeah, Delboni was dropping elbows to the head as Zappitella was trying, she was grabbing a leg, right? But I think the problem was she was probably more stunned from those early elbows than maybe people realized. Because, going for the takedowns is fine, but the shots got slower, more predictable. Right now, Zappitella, she was still trying, but it got a little repetitive. Jab, overhand, gonna shoot. Right, so Delboni was able to make those reads and then punish her. Zappitella, she did hit a nice head kick later on, but there wasn't enough. Wasn't enough. And in the fifth round, her corner was like, yo, you got to finish this. Open scoring. So, everyone knew what was going down, right? And we did see Zappitella come out and try and push it, but Delboni was still hitting those big shots, those punishing shots. And then Zappitella again went for a takedown. She's on the leg, but can't proceed, can't push forward. And I think it was a bit of a problem because, you know what I mean, Zappitella needed to finish the fight, but she's stuck on a leg. It wasn't the best game plan, but I feel it was probably the only thing she could do because I think, yeah, she was just stunned. I'd be curious to find out what she remembers, you know what I mean, from the fight. Because, yeah, I think she was really hurt. And, you know what I mean, it was kind of on autopilot, right? But so tough, so fucking tough. Now, Delboni, you know what I mean, she won this fight. She clearly won the fight. You know, she was admiring her shit a little bit, right? She was landing big shots, and instead of following them up, you know what I mean, she just stood back a bit, you know, which didn't hurt her. Didn't hurt her. And again, I think some of that was because of the animosity and everything like that. But yeah, Dalboni, she's tough, you know what I mean? When she puts it together, dangerous. And she threw more in this fight than maybe the first one, because I think that was one of the problems, right? In the first fight, it was the volume. She was landing big shots, but not as much of volume as Zappitella. In this one, she landed more, definitely landed more big shots, stuffing those takedowns, those vicious elbows. But she definitely needs to, you know what I mean, stop just congratulating herself on a big shot and just follow it up. Follow it up. But she did have a smart game plan, man. Definitely had a smart game plan. And yeah, looks like Invicta is going to Wednesday nights, which boom, now I know, right? I will be sure to try and catch the next event. And I think these events are going to be free on YouTube still. So that's golden, right? Because I thought it was all straight AXS TV and I wouldn't be able to watch them, you know what I mean, since they left Fight Pass. But yeah, on YouTube, boom, we're going to be able to cover Invicta, people. So yeah, that was good, man. And you know, we had a bumper weekend of fights. How great is that?